Radical! Welcome to this week's episode of the Print on Demand cast. Each week, join the gnarly Travis and Josiah as they provide insight into the print on demand industry and equip you with the totally tubular tools, advice, and strategies you need to achieve success and hopefully have a few laughs along the way. Now on to this week's Totally Tubular show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 91 of the Print on Demand cast. I am Josiah, and as always, with me is Travis Ross. Travis, happy Monday. How are you doing? How's your Monday going? In passing this afternoon, you said it's been a day, and so that's about all that's a good indicator. But tell the people, how's your Monday going?
I mean, I don't need to go. It's a Monday, right? It just got started with some stuff that was going on at home and I had to deal with. And so I didn't even get here until like noon. I grabbed some lunch on the way because I was dealing with some stuff at home. And I was on the phone and with, tech support and it was like computer stuff, some of it was. And then it was family stuff. But anyway, all that to say is that kind of got the day started off not so fun. Sure. But once I got here, it was fine. Typical Monday. We have somebody actually starting in the sublimation department tomorrow.
Yeah.
On Tuesday. So that's good. We didn't have to go through such a long period of time to find somebody this time, which was great. She'll be starting tomorrow morning. Excited to get her up and going. Tate's going to spend some time training her in the morning. But yeah, we're still cranking. Orders are coming in. A lot of local orders. You've been doing a lot of, getting a lot of stuff done, a lot of things sold. We've got a big order from somebody who's going to this big festival and they got to order a whole bunch of stuff and they need it in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's one of those things where the client, we've talked about this a little bit, but I don't think people really understand the process of, I think people just assume that we have everything in stock. Now, this particular client, that's not necessarily the case. She came by and chatted with us, but the biggest thing with her order was just getting her to commit to give us information. Right. So it was when I was like, well, I need to know how much it's going to cost. Well, I need to know how much you're going to take. Well, I need to know how much it's going to cost. Well, I need to know how much you want to take. So there's just like this impasse of I can't give you what you want until you give me what I want. So let's go from there. But yeah, excited to have the new person starting in sub tomorrow morning. That'll be awesome. And today was more, like I said, local orders. There's a dance studio that submitted an order. There's a company called Sustainable Organizers. I never heard of them, but they put in an order with us as well. And another church that reached out that wants some merch done. That I was actually a referral from a client.
Oh, cool.
So that's cool. But yeah, lots of quotes, and we're trying to ramp up for these summer markets that are happening in 4 weeks or something or less. And we're also kind of trying to get the Square stuff figured out and figure out what we're trying to get there. So Square,
it's like the point of sale.
Yeah, like the POS, like the Square,
yeah.
Like where you go and you see people on the iPad and you swipe the card. So getting all that figured out as well. So yeah, very busy Monday.
Yeah.
It always feels like there's Mondays, especially, there's just so much happening.
Yeah.
So but hey, this is episode 91, which means that we are 9 episodes away from episode 100.
It's crazy.
Which is absolutely nuts. And I think we're also, let's see, 4 episodes. So it'll be 13 episodes away from episode 2, or making it 2 years. 2 years, the 2-year mark, which is crazy. So we don't know what is going to be in the works for that, other than that we're going to start season 4 at episode 100, which for you, the listener, means
absolutely nothing.
Yeah, we don't know what that means. It's just that our notes in our Google Drive folder for season 3 are cumbersome, and there's a lot of scrolling. And honestly, we by that metric, season 4 should have started about 12 episodes ago.
Ain't got no
But,
time for scrolling.
yeah, it makes no discernible difference. Other than hopefully we'll try and mark something and do something fun, maybe another Facebook Live. We haven't done one of those in a while since the 1 year episode. So it's been almost 50 some odd episodes that we've done one of those. So maybe that's what we'll give, or we'll do, or maybe we'll do something completely random outside the box that has nothing to do with a lot of POD, but a lot of entertainment value. Who knows?
Yeah.
Travis and I were able to dig ourselves out of the rabbit hole as to finding. Oh my gosh, I don't even know why I brought.
I don't know why you're bringing this up.
It requires so much context. Basically, I did an impression, and Travis was like, "Is that John?" And then I was like, "Dude, there's so many famous Johns," which then prompted a Google search on my part for the most famous Johns, and then we got lost in a rabbit hole of a list and disputing that list, and then we thought,
"Yep,
this is fun bonus content." But that's not today. Today is something completely different, and of course, we can't start any episode off without everyone's favorite segment, the weekly dad joke.
Time for the weekly dad joke.
All right, Travis, you have known me long enough and well enough to know that I'm not necessarily one to subscribe to a lot of politically correct culture and the taboos, right? So you would know that I love politically incorrect jokes. And so I'm going to tell you guys my favorite politically incorrect joke. You ready?
Okay. Yep, I'm ready.
Benjamin Franklin was a great president. And that's this week's weekly dad joke. And for those playing the home edition, Benjamin Franklin wasn't a president, which is why it's funny. So
yeah, you got to that one's got to simmer a little bit. You know, you got to kind of
he's on to that one. He's on the $100 bill, and so I mean, everyone else on on our currency is president. So there are some people that legitimately are like,
"Yep,
was he or wasn't he? He wasn't." So that's why that is politically, factually, historically
correct.
So with that being said, we're going to move right into this week's point of interest and play for all of you what is perhaps the most beautiful bumper that has ever been made in the history of the Print on Demand cast. So grab a tissue and enjoy.
Point of interest.
Every time. I wasn't ready for it. I wasn't ready. The composer song. Oh, nothing like a good slapstick comedy vaudeville bit. With the nose blowing.
Really bad nose blowing sound effect.
Yes. Absolutely fantastic. So this week's point of interest, we're doing something that we've done in the past, but we thought we'd do an updated 2022 version, and that is random holidays. I think we did this probably a year ago, where we stumbled upon this list of an extensive list, an exhaustive list, if you will, of ridiculous national holidays. And so I thought, well, we should update people. And you might be thinking, hey, this is completely random, and what are you guys doing? We would have rather listened to the famous John's debate, and I understand. But this actually does have a little bit of validity when it comes to print on demand, because, as you all know, holidays of any kind appeal to a specific niche, which we're going to talk about more on our main event. But so these might give you some ideas of some things to kind of look for, design ideas for these very random holidays coming up. But there might be someone who celebrates them, so you probably, maybe if you want, throw it at the wall, see what happens. So that's the other reason, other than sheer entertainment value, that we wanted to bring you this extensive, ridiculous list known as the random holiday list. So Travis, we're almost halfway through May. I don't know exactly how that happened, but it's the truth. So why don't you start us off with some holidays that are happening in the month of May?
Sure. Actually, I was going to start this off with Wednesday, May 18th,
Oh, sure.
which
'Cause
is
when
the
they're
day
when they're
that,
listening to this, right?
yeah, when you're probably listening to this, you may or may not have known that Wednesday, May 18th is National No Dirty Dishes Day. So
Oh,
while you're listening and you got your little, AirPods in or whatever, and you've got it blown over the speaker in your house, you can, do some dishes because it's a holiday and that's what you do on a holiday.
yeah. We know Fiona will be working in her shop, but after this, Fiona, when you listen to this for the second or third time, for to do some dishes. If you guys want this list in its entirety, you can go to printondemancast.com/random holidays, and it'll all be linked there as we are kind of just perusing through here and
Yeah.
seeing which ones we think are ridiculous and or maybe perhaps even a good idea. Of course, everyone knows that the 30th is Memorial Day, right?
Mhm.
But did you know that the next day is World No Tobacco Day? None.
Hmm.
No tobacco.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. Can't say that I would observe that holiday. I do enjoy a cigar, but on that day, maybe you just abstain. Who knows?
Abstain. Yeah.
Abstination. Not a
I
word.
I think what the reason we joke about these different days, but there are actually people that are going to celebrate National Cheese Day on June 4th. And why wouldn't you? It's freaking
Yeah.
cheese.
Yeah. Cheese
But I
is
mean, you
worthy
could
of its
make
own day.
you could make a cool shirt, with cheese on it and
Yeah.
say it's National Cheese, put National Cheese Day on there or whatever, Um, National Hug Your Cat Day is also the 4th. So you could have a cheese day shirt and a
With a
hug your
cat.
cat day shirt. You could
Yeah.
have cheese and cats on the same shirt.
You could have queso cat.
Yes. And
Superhero.
market it as, a National Hug Your Cat Cheese Day
Yeah.
shirt.
Yeah. Let's see what else we have going on here. We have National Sewing Machine Day on the 13th of June. So
Okay.
that's when you can honor that Singer's sewing machine and sew something, stitch something, embroider something. Maybe you embroider stuff with that says. I don't know. There's just so many options here. Let's see, Travis, what else do we have in the month of June that could be of particular interest?
The 30th is International Asteroid Day, and it's also National Handshake Day.
Oh, and it's National Work from Home Day.
And
it's also World
Social Media Day.
So
There's so many
could
things.
post on social media that you're working from home and or post a picture of you working from home shaking the hand of someone in your house while an asteroid's in the background. Who knows? There's so many things you could do. The day before is National Hug Day, so you can get your hugs in before the asteroid destroys us all on the 30th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, there are some other things that, they're a little more, I guess, a little more serious, or maybe not as fun. And like National HIV Testing Day is the 27th of June. Of course, everyone knows the 4th of July is coming up on, July 4th.
Independence Day is huge. The patriotic,
but there's
kind of niche is awesome.
July 1st is the National Postal Worker Day. So, I mean, that's something that you could design something around.
Yeah,
that
totally.
There's a massive population that are postal workers that work for the USPS. And so you could do something like that.
I would say too, even if you don't make a design on July 1st, National Postal Worker Day, and you have a post office that you go to, if you're dropping stuff off, if you're drop ship, if you're taking things to the post office and they get, take that postal worker, something, a gift card, flowers, or whatever. It goes a long way. Honestly, I mean, we had a really good relationship with the post office worker in Firestone. Her name was Shirley. She was fantastic at the beginning. It was a little bit, contentious because we were doing so much volume. But then all it took was, hey, thanks for all your hard work. Here's a gift card. And then she was like everyone's grandma. She was so nice and so accommodating. So could work out. See, something useful is coming out of these holidays other than good design ideas.
Yeah. August 1st, World Lung Cancer Day. Obviously, an awareness type of shirt you could do, or something like that. The 17th of August is National Nonprofit Day. Again, kind of an awareness type opportunity. What do you got, Josiah?
See, August 1st is also Colorado Day.
Hallelujah.
So as Coloradans or Coloradians, that obviously has intrinsic value, but understand, guys, the Colorado flag isn't trademarked. And Colorado is one of those states, like California, like Texas, I would say even more so, that have a lot of pride, and they wear something with that flag on it. So make some Colorado flag centered designs for Colorado Day. And I think you do well, because again, a lot of people love, I mean, I don't have any right now, but I used to have a couple hats that had the Colorado flag on it. I designed a shirt that was like a hockey, a shirt with a Colorado flag in it. So lots of Colorado gear worn by Coloradans, that's for sure.
This is Tell a Joke Day. So
16th of August, tell a joke. Is that a Wednesday? It's a Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday. Darn it, right?
Oh, crap. Well, it could have worked. Yeah. So guys, I mean, again, there's a lot of stuff. A World Mosquito Day. I don't know why in the world we would celebrate mosquitoes. I don't know what good they do, to be quite honest. If you have any ideas or you want to educate me on the benefits of mosquitoes, you can go to the Facebook group. And let me know, because right now I have nothing. The 23rd of August is National Sponge Cake Day. The 24th of August is National Kobe Bryant Day. Now, keep in mind, this brings up a good point. You're gonna need to be careful if you want to do anything that has anything to do with like a Kobe Bryant Day, because odds are anything that you might think the Mamba snake, the 8, the 24, the Lakers jersey, whatever, those are it's walking into a minefield. Yes.
Right.
So be careful, because there's a couple of those on this list that I've noticed that I'm like, yeah, that would probably do well, but I don't know how you're going to navigate the red tape when it comes to trademark infringement. So be careful.
Yeah, totally. We'll just do a couple more. August 27th, National Just Because Day, which is kind of funny.
That's hilarious.
But then on the other side of that, and more of an awareness type thing, the 31st of August is International Overdose Awareness Day. So again, there's a lot of things that you can take from a list. What was that what was the link that you're going to put in the show notes? Or
printondemancast.com/random holidays.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you guys should check this out. It might give you some ideas for some kind of annual type designs. We always do designs for Valentine's Day and for the 4th of July and for Christmas and Thanksgiving, all of those big holidays. But don't sleep on some of this stuff. Even if you do a design and you get like 2 or 3 sales, that's kind of worth it, because now next year it's going to come up again and maybe you get another 2 or 3 sales and you didn't have to do any work. So that's kind of the idea behind some of those annual type niches that we'll get more into in the main event.
Absolutely. And to just round it out here, May 22nd is World Goth Day. So my question to you is, could you just sell a black shirt? Let us know. Do you need to print anything on it? Who can know? Black ink on a black shirt, just see what happens. That's the 22nd. You have not much time to capitalize on that, but it is just a blank shirt, so knock yourselves out. So that is this week's point of interest. And with that, we are going to go into this week's main event.
Ladies and gentlemen, the main event.
All right, Travis, this week we are going to talk about niches. I mean, we kind of had a discussion about this when we were kind of
Mhm.
kicking stuff around as to what we were going to talk about today, but kind of let the listener into the reasoning as to why we wanted to kind of circle back or revisit niches, because we have talked about them
Mhm.
before, and it's one of the most talked about things I think on any, if you go to any POD YouTube channel, one of the pinned videos or one of the most viewed is going to
Right.
be, which niche should you get into, which niche. So I mean, it's a wide covered topic, but what did you what's the reasoning behind wanting to kind of dive deeper here on this particular show, on this episode?
Yeah, I think, I mean, I was literally just asked about it the other day. One of our social media, someone who was like, "Hey, I need a niche," and sidebar, niche or niche, you decide. I've just kind of gradually been sucked in. I used to be a niche guy. Now I'm a niche guy. I don't know. Don't judge me, but you could call it either thing. But so yeah, so we get asked these questions all the time. What's the best niche for print on demand? Well, the best niche is the one that gets sales. And I mean, at the end of the
Yeah,
day, that's really the
what it's
best
about.
niche. Yeah. And so I think that's not the greatest question. Which niche should I get into? I think it's a good question, but I think a better question is, um, you know, first of all, what do I want to sell and how do I want to sell it? And then I
Yeah,
can decide what I want to put on it. Um, one thing that there's literally thousands and thousands of options for niches. So for someone to say, "Oh, I can't find a niche that sells," is, in my opinion, kind of ridiculous.
yeah, it means that particular, I mean, no indictment, but you got to be lazy. It's pretty lazy to say
Yeah.
I can't find a niche to sell, because like Travis said, there's so many of them out there. So if you don't think there is one, it's because you haven't done the work to find it.
hmm Yeah, and so of course there is the counter argument, when you're talking about niches, and I've said this to people on in the Facebook group when we've talked about it, and if you've been listening for any length of time to the Print on Demand cast, you've heard me talk how our business, so that the actual designs that we sell personally, are all across the board. We've gone, a mile wide and an inch deep. So we have, all kinds of niches,
Yeah.
which is one way to go. And if I can't remember when Robin Johnson came on here, and we were talking about that, and she was like, "Well, I don't think that's the greatest or that's the best idea. I think that if you have a
Right.
niche, and you drill down into it, you have so many more marketing opportunities with that particular
Yeah.
um, niche." And so for us, we decided, instead of putting our money into marketing dollars, we put it into creating more products,
Yeah.
and hiring designers, and really, really kind of blowing out the designs. And that's how we went. So that's one way you can go. Or
Yeah.
if you do find a niche and make sure your designs are great, you can really use some marketing strategies um, to really blow it up. You can even use some free stuff. You can do, obviously there's so many people out there doing Instagram, they're doing Facebook groups and pages, and,
Yeah.
all about their, you know, choose your dog name or what, or
Right.
your or breed. And they're blowing up selling print on demand products that go along with that. And it's not necessarily just limited to print on demand products. I mean, if you have like a dog type thing, you could sell collars, you could sell other things that aren't necessarily print on demand. But that's really not what we're necessarily talking about. My point is that you have really you can go a mile wide and an inch deep, or you can go a mile deep and an inch wide if you
Yeah.
decide you want to just choose a niche and um, really get into that and really spend time working on your designs and really spend time working on your marketing. I don't think there's a wrong answer, I guess,
Yeah.
is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. So the other thing too, when you're thinking about this, is doing things that are evergreen and things that are trending.
Mhm.
Which I guess in my in my opinion, trending is like the quick buck. You'll throw stuff on there. I know last year Tate had an idea for something on a topic that was trending, and he was like,
Mhm.
"We need to put this on Etsy," and it
It
sold
worked.
a lot,
Worked really well. Yeah.
really well. Are those shirts selling as much now?
Nope.
I don't think so. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but
We
there's
sold one the other day though, and I was like, "Oh
okay,
my gosh!"
yeah.
But it was
So
like one. You know.
right. So like the trendy stuff has like an immediate hit, right? Like an example, I think of something that would be trending is this, or even like what you're wearing. But this is a Hearsay Brewing Company, home of the Mega Pint, happy hour all the time.
That's
This
funny.
is a reference to the Amber Heard Johnny Depp trial. If you guys have been following it at all, but that's what this shirt is based off of.
Mhm.
Same with this one. I don't know how they're getting away with having her face on it, but only time will tell. But this kind of stuff is only going to be popular or on trend until that is done.
Mhm. Right.
Once the trial's over, we all know how the news cycle works. And 24 hours later, it's going to
Mhm.
be out of really the public conscience. So you're not going to sell as many of those. Travis is wearing an Area 51 shirt right now, which he can kind of show everybody here. But that in 2019 was a huge, huge topic. I mean, it was this big thing that everyone was talking about going to Area 51. And so there's a
Mhm.
lot of
It was a
those.
it was a massive Facebook group that
Yeah.
that started gaining. They had like hundreds of thousands of people. I think Facebook ended up shutting it down because of pressure
Yeah.
from the government, because they didn't want
They don't
all
want
these
people.
people
Yeah.
showing up, and running onto the base. The whole thing is
Yeah.
the tagline on this shirt says they can't stop all of us, which
They
the
can.
concept is hilarious,
Right.
and I
Right.
think, the day came, the day went, uh, sold some shirts, and then it was over. I still have this because I thought it was a cool design and I like it. And it's funny. It reminds me of a funny thing. Another great example of this is the eclipse back in, was it 2018, 2017? I don't
Yeah, I
remember.
think it was
I think it was 2018.
2017.
Was it 2017? Okay.
Yeah, because this was something that we had designed and put on a shirt
Mm-hmm.
because I mean it happened that the path of whatever the totality whatever was right in my hometown. So like
Wow.
the most intense one of the most intense places to view it was my hometown of Wyoming. So we threw a bunch of these on merch by Amazon at the time and sold a bunch. We had probably, I'm trying to see. Yeah, we had a bunch of different designs, as you guys can
Mm-hmm.
see,
Yeah.
that we threw up there just to see what would stick. So that's an example again, like you were saying, of a trend because it was huge and there was tens of thousands of people buying
Mm-hmm.
these shirts and descending upon a little tiny town of 10,000 people, literally doubled its population for 24 hours. It was crazy.
Wow.
So yeah, those are kinds of things that are trending. But then on the flip side of that, Evergreen is something that kind of like a Christmas, like a 4th of July, like, major holidays things that are going to return on a consistent basis. Something that's
Yeah.
always going to be popular. Pets, dogs,
Yeah.
that occupational, niches to a certain extent as
Mm-hmm.
well. But things that will be consistent and not just kind of hit really hard at the front end and then drop off. These will be consistent and make you money over the long term.
Right. Yeah, and I would even break those into two categories, like an annual evergreen, like a Mother's Day shirt or a Christmas
Sure.
shirt, like you were talking, or even those holidays that we were talking about in the point of interest, versus like a nurse shirt or
Yeah.
a truck driver shirt or whatever, the particular niche is. I think those are more truly evergreen because they're always selling, whereas the annual, you got to
Yep.
kind of wait till the season happens. But they're still evergreen because they do reoccur every single year. So yeah, I mean, we have a coffee mug that has sold probably close to $20,000 worth of sales over its life, and it's always selling, always. And you compare that to a trending thing, which can sell that much, or maybe a few $1,000s or whatever around a specific topic or specific time, but then it doesn't sell anymore. And so, yeah, so you've got that annual thing, you've got that trending thing, and then you've got that just straight up evergreen thing. And so I think what we're going to do here is we're going to go through some of these niches. We're going to actually link to a website that we found that had a list of 27 different niches. And they're pretty dang good. I mean, a lot of them are kind of what you would think. But these are going to be more evergreen niches as opposed to the trending ones that we were talking about back in the point of interest. So printondemandcast.com/27 niches is where you can go to get a link to this article. Josiah, why don't you?
It's like 27 dresses, but not.
But it's not. Why don't you start us off? We're not going to go through all 27 because we're giving you a link and you can go there yourself.
Right. Yeah, I'm just gonna. What's up?
I was just going to say one more thing before we jump into it. One of the coolest things that this website talks about and does is that they specifically talk about like using Google Trends to find these niches, and you can see that certain things are trending, but then you also see on Google Trends, you can see them just kind of go. It's basically a line graph over time, and you can see, so that's a good evergreen niche because it goes up and down, up and down, up and down all year. There's no real peaks or valleys. Where if you did, if you looked at Area 51, I guarantee in September of 2019, there was a spike and then it went back down to zero. No one's really talking about Area 51 anymore.
Yeah.
So I really appreciated that they brought in Google Trends because that is an excellent, excellent, excellent way to compare niches. One of the things that they do as an example is cats and dogs. And to Josiah's great pleasure, dogs greatly outrank cats in search terms in Google Trends.
As they should. As they should, because cats are soulless creatures. I'm just kidding. I don't want to alienate any of our listeners that love cats, and so their numbers have just dropped off because I'm allergic to them. Okay, that's my predisposition to cats, is that they'll kill me.
Excuses.
If I wasn't allergic to them, I would probably hate them less. Kittens are cute, then they grow up. So we're gonna get some trends here real quick. I'm just kind of scrolling through to talk about different trends. I think one of them here that they have listed at number 6 is patriotic. I think that's a great a niche, and it's an evergreen niche. You'll probably see a spike in July, obviously for Independence Day, but it's definitely something that I would say is pretty consistent across the board. There's always going to be people that want to buy We the People stuff, for American flag stuff, for Eagle stuff. There's always going to be people that are going to want to do that. Now, understand that particular niche, your designs are going to have to be good because there's a lot in that niche.
A lot of competition.
A lot of competition in that niche. So that's one of mine. Travis, what do you have over there?
Number 4 on the list is fishing, and I think everyone would agree fishing is a massive hobby that that is had by a lot of people, male and female. And then the thing that I was going to say is one of the cool things about a list like this, or even like the list that we talked about in the point of interest, you can take fishing and then you can, which is an evergreen topic, and then you can put an annual spin on it. So you can talk about, the best fathers are fishermen. And you can do that with a lot of these. Another one, the very next one on this list is firefighters. The very best firefighters or the very best dads are firefighters. So you're using Father's Day and you're using firefighters, or you're using Father's Day and you're using fishermen. I mean, that is a huge thing that I think goes it whittles your target market down. And so there's less competition the more you can whittle it down. Now you got to
Yeah.
make sure that there's searches for that, but we know people are searching for Father's Day gifts, and we know people are searching for firefighter gifts or
Yep.
fishing gifts.
Yep.
So that makes sense. And if you
Yeah.
can keep doing that and making those connections, you can really do good. Now, I wouldn't say just do that. Don't only do Father's Day fisherman mugs. Maybe
Right.
just do some regular fisherman mugs because they might sell at Christmas. So will your Father's Day mugs at Christmas too, because somebody's going to give their fisherman dad a mug, but
Yeah.
or a T-shirt or whatever it is. But using that kind of combination strategy, I think, is huge. What else you got, Josiah?
Yeah, to that same point, number 3 on here is nurses. So of course, nurses, that particular occupation became very prominent during 2020 with COVID and the pandemic just breaking
Yeah.
out. And so there was lots of attention given to the frontline workers, which nurses, of course, are one of them. But to Travis's point, you can combine that and Mother's Day and nurses. The best moms are nurses, like he was saying about firefighters. That's another one that you could probably easily combine there as well. One
You
of
could
them
also
here.
combine, I was going to say,
Oh,
you
go
could
ahead.
also combine nurses with Father's Day, because I mean, I
Yeah.
think traditionally we think of nurses as women, that's
Yeah.
just our culture. You can call it sexist or whatever you want, but that's kind of how we think of it. But I would think that because of that, there's a lot less competition for a nurse. The best fathers
Sure.
make the best nurses T-shirt or
Sure.
coffee mug or gift.
Yeah. Yep.
So that was just something I want to throw in there.
Yeah. Again, vegan is another huge. It's a
Mm.
niche lifestyle that is very. I don't. Okay, so yeah, vegan is an option. It seems like there'd be
You're not vegan, are you,
No,
Josiah?
I'm certainly not vegan. I was just going to make a point about how people who are vegan would definitely wear a shirt telling you that they were vegan. So there's probably a great demographic of vegans out there that would want to let other people know that they are in fact vegan. So that was going to be my only point. If you're vegan out there, I don't assume that you're one of those people, but statistically, it seems to be accurate. So vegans, I've alienated cat lovers and
Yes,
vegans. If there's any
yes.
cat loving vegans that listen to our show, they
So
are
sorry.
out. One thing that I found interesting on this list was number 10, pizza. And it's not
Yeah.
because I don't love pizza. I mean, I like pizza is the one thing that if Travis and I, we actually have a poker night this Friday night. We're going to be in the same place playing poker. Inevitably, someone's going to bring up
Guaranteed.
the idea of pizza, and no one in that room is going to say no. It's just one of those things of like, yeah, I won't say no to pizza. And if anyone out there is wondering what the best combination is, it's chicken Alfredo, bacon, and jalapeno pizza on a thin crust.
Ding, 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 ding.
Mwah, fantastic.
You're welcome.
Give it a shot. Start with, I mean, it's a good combination anywhere, but where I was first introduced to it was Domino's thin crust. Delicious. So, Travis, what do you say we do one more of these? What do you got? What's one more niche here that we think would be worth highlighting until we let them kind of explore it on their own?
I think, heck, traveling. Part of that is because, I mean, there's as many places that people want to travel to or have traveled to as there are niches,
Yeah.
So you could literally dial it down super, super, super deep. As a matter of fact, we did a project where we had a generator that would actually generate our images for us, and we just had a list of traveled spaces like in an Excel sheet, and then we combined it with this text, and we just sorry, I think it said something like sorry, I wasn't listening, I was thinking about, and then it was like Hawaii,
Oh, sure, random,
or Colorado,
random
or random spots, or Aspen, or whatever. And so we made a lot of just text-based mugs just like that. So traveling is definitely one that you can get a lot of mileage out of, if you really want to go down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, wanderlust is a huge thing, right? People that just love to travel and want to just kind of get out there. So, and then I would say, I guess right underneath that is working out, which again, lifestyle niches are huge because there's always going to be people that are into fitness or into the Fitspo kind of trend, and so it's always going to be something that is applicable to a very large percentage of people. So working out is also a good idea. And also, I just want to show you people this before we go. Number 18 on here is music. And this design, I'll tell you what,
It's pretty dope.
that is impressive. That is all over sublimation, if not cut and sew. I don't know, but I'm impressed. Would I wear it? Probably. I mean, why not? What's the worst?
Yeah, I like that one too.
Yeah, I just thought that was funny. That's a funny idea to me. I would have never thought to just put a whole acoustic guitar front as a zippered hoodie. Yeah, that's awesome. Travis, anything else about niches before we wrap this up? Is there any more that you want to hit, that you want to touch on before we close this thing out?
Yeah, there's one on here. Number 23 is movies. And I think, we would be remiss if we didn't say, watch yourself on those.
Yes.
You can get into a lot of deep doo-doo with, some copyright infringement.
Even this, because there seems to be some gray area. This is the example on the site. What's your favorite scary movie? I know what movie that's referencing instantly. And I understand it, which it's good to think of clever ways to do that, but you still have to be careful. This particular design is referencing the movie Scream. So they did it without doing the ghost face, without doing the font, without doing anything that's blatant gimmick infringement. But the line itself, is that copyrightable? Yes, no. It's a gamble.
Yeah. And you just don't take the gamble, there's enough stuff out there that you don't have to. So, frankly, you might want to stay away from movies. You might want to stay away from songs,
music.
Music, I mean, obviously a picture of a guitar on a, that's not copyrighted, but
sure,
your favorite song lyrics are, so don't do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's it. I just wanted to make sure that we didn't send this out to them and, got a bunch of people suspended.
Yeah, it'd be terrible. It'd be terrible. We've already pissed off the vegan cat lovers, and I'd hate to have more people be suspended in addition to all of that. So, but guys, if you like or want to see this whole list again, printondemancast.com/27 niches is where you can find that. If you guys find a niche that you like, or if you try out one of these niches and you're like, hey, I hit a honey hole, or hey, actually let us know. We always want to be involved in those conversations and kind of share in your success. I think one of the best things about this is seeing when you guys succeed, when you guys are doing well, and kind of sharing it with us. And if there's a niche that we missed, then let us know if you're comfortable sharing. Some people protect the niches once they find them. But all of this conversation,
looking at you, RJ.
When you said niches today, we were talking about niches. I instantly thought, like, how fast could RJ get on a call? Because I think that guy, I mean, we had him on once. We need to have him on again just to catch up with him, because he seems to be doing a lot of cool stuff and moving and shaking, as he always is. So RJ, if you happen to be listening to this, open invitation, come back, catch up, let us know what you're up to now. It'd be great to talk to you again. But the conversation as to your success, what niches work, what niches don't, questions you have, all of that goes down in the Facebook group, and it's printondemancast.com/Facebook, so where you can join the group and join in on the conversation and let us know what you guys think. If you have questions for myself or for our past guests, if you're new to this show and you haven't listened to all of these topics or all of these episodes, you can ask us questions relating to any of the 91 episodes that are in the archive. We'd be happy to touch on them, happy to talk to you guys about that. So printondemandcast.com/Facebook. We also have an Instagram, printondemandcast.com/Instagram, and printondemandcast.com/YouTube is where you can go to find us on all of the current social media platforms that we are at. And you can also send us an email, info@printondemandcast.com, if you have any questions, or you want to book Travis and I to talk about the most famous Johns. I don't know. And not the bathrooms or the toilets. I'm talking about the people. So the most famous John, whatever. I keep bringing it up. But you can email us there if you don't do social media. And as always, wherever there are podcasts, the PODcast is there for you as well. iTunes, Stitcher, Google, Spotify, Anchor, all of them. We're there for you. But if you happen to be listening on the podcast app, please do us a favor and drop a 5-star review for us to read and enjoy and feel good about what we do. But on a more serious note, it does help this show get in front of the people that will need it. It affects the algorithm in a positive way.
Right.
And it helps us kind of, this information that you find helpful, this information that you found beneficial, we want that to go to more people that are in this industry, that are starting out in this industry. That's the whole reason we started the podcast. So if you want to help spread the word about the show, leave a 5-star review and a comment, and we will shout it out. We have done it in the past, but we haven't gotten a lot of new ones yet. So please leave a 5-star review. We'd love to shout you out and let you know. Also, Spotify, you can rate us there. Only star rating, no comment yet, but you can still leave 5 stars. So Travis, anything else before we put a bow on this one?
I don't think so. I think you covered it all pretty good. I was just going to see if anybody, so I remember last week we said something about not getting any more reviews, and I was just going to see if anybody left a review. Dang it, people.
Live on the air.
Nope. No new reviews. No shout outs for you.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want a shout out, leave a review. That's all you got to do. That's basically it. Leave a review and we'd love to shout you out. So yeah, for Travis, I'm Josiah. We'll see you next week right here on the Print on Demand cast.
See ya.
Hey, babe, thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Print on Demand cast. We hope you enjoyed the Totally Tubular Show. If you got a question or a suggestion for the show, send Travis and Josiah an email at info@printondemandcast.com. Want to be wicked nice? Take a minute to rate and review the show on iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts. And don't forget to subscribe now so you don't miss next week's episode. See you next time, for sure.